changes for sure.
Oh yeah.
I can guarantee you that much. That is about to happen. But for now, it is Kapten versus Sp4ghet. Sp4ghet had a very, very important game early in the slot where he did need to secure a win. Otherwise, he would have needed to do that in this game. So, less pressure on him. Less pressure on him, but as we already said, they still play for points here.
Yes.
So therefore, it is still going to be a good match.
Definitely. You can see here on the global leaderboard that, of course, by the end of the regionals, top 12 make it through to the World Championship finals. And, well, that's not going to be an easy task. So even for Kapten, who's already set up towards the top, he's not guaranteed anything yet in terms of global championship or world championship qualification. EMEA regionals is locked in for him. But the World Championship still needs to be fought for. So an important match for both these two players to get as many points as possible.
Correct. And we start off in Turkey. Love to see that.
5k, I'm ready. All you.
How about you do it this time, Toby?
No, I haven't done learnable meta Turkey yet, so not yet.
I actually...
I'll do it next week. Oh, wait.
I did contribute to that, so you can trust everything that's given on that. So yeah, let's see. What do we have actually? I didn't really see any region-specific clues yet. It's saying Silivri, which is a coastal city in European Turkey. It's on the south coast in European Turkey. It is very big actually. It is already on the map. You see it on Kapten's screen. You also see it on Sp4ghet's screen. Even from this zoom level, you see it. Yeah, seems like it doesn't ring a bell.
Let's see. Here we go. It is all the way over there.
There's the realization.
Yeah.
Of, oh, it's actually huge.
People go, wait, oh, right, there's a European part as well. Oh. It's not like just...
Didn't really look like it, to be fair. It didn't really
true.
strike it as it's on that location.
That is true. Into round 2 we go. Despite it being in Turkey exclusive, a lot of damage did come through here in round number 1. So we now see ourselves zooming down the street. They both have the same info available. They've gone down the same path here.
I don't know if that's really helpful what we had on that poster. So therefore, they are moving even further. We have Kabupat and Passer. Oh, where was that? Passer. I forgot.
Kapten
I learned
in South Kalimantan, so you'd have to imagine that he knows something that we might not.
Yes, I think it is on Kali Passer. I don't exactly know where it was. Somewhere on the east.
In and around the area just north of the regional border. And both in the same city. Sp4ghet trying to line up a 5k here, I think, and he might just be successful at that. Indeed, he will not be.
Almost.
Oh, I thought he had it. But no, the numbers would bait us for 999.
They don't really bless us with the 5Ks today. It's always the 4999s. They do it on purpose, let's be real. As we move over to the next round, we are in Kenya, driving left. Single yellow, actually also very common in Kenya. We have the pickup truck, not the snorkel one. Oh, what's happening here? Jump scare.
Traffic accident, get away. Back on the street again.
Little jump scare.
Don't want to run over the pedestrians.
Jumped on the truck, sure. Free ride, we'll take it.
That's a new version of trigger cam. When it's triggers on car cam, what does that become?
That actually is a meta for a couple regions in Bangladesh, where someone is standing on the side of the truck and driving along with it.
Amazing. A rare one of that. As Kapten so far has just kind of plunked it into Nairobi, or at least a little bit north there of Sp4ghet, pretty much joining him side by side. Yeah, they're both going to set up here.
Yep.
It's going to be close.
You know, whether we are east or west or north or south of it, they both go fairly close to the capital. Not much happening here.
Not much at all. As we make our way into round number 4. Foggy, rocky river location, or maybe the open water. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Could be all the way. Yeah, exactly towards the north there.
I don't know on which side we are. If it is still on BC or on the Alaska side. I think more Alaska with this guardrail, because usually in British Columbia, you have concrete guardrails rather than these metal ones. So, and also double yellow, more common in the US. So I think we could be in US, maybe on that peninsula where Ketchikan is. I am not very certain about that though.
Still going up the road.
Then,
It's like
I've
when you're in
seen
Norway.
them.
You know that around the corner there could be info, but you could also be going for 600 kilometers without seeing anything at all. Hoping
Very possible.
that maybe something presents itself. Kapten jumping from lake to lake. Not gonna commit in the end. Sp4ghet though, what a great lockdown.
It's a great guess, getting the right span of the road there as well.
Incredible guess coming through from Sp4ghet. We go away into round number 5. And instantly we have text available once more.
Yeah, actually Hungary. Didn't think of it with how hilly it was in first glance, but you have some hilly parts in Hungary. Most of it is right where Kapten guessed, where you have the highest elevation.
Very
Northeast
unique
of
arrows
Budapest. True.
on the signs there.
Yeah, also the fact
people
that
learning.
it's green. Green town signs also not too common
Yeah.
over the world. Oh,
Right
it's even
country.
further east.
Wrong area. Bit towards the southwest on that one. It's gonna pretty much even things up here between the two halfway through this first game. As we see here into round number 6 we go.
Round number 6, and we are in Oman. It's very flat deserty. We should be somewhere central because the mountains are in the south and north of the country. In the middle you have those flat deserts. From then on you usually try to line up the road. However, we are like somewhat in a curve and also enter a village. What to say? There are just like 4 or 5 buildings here. Don't know if we will get to see more than that. So let's see what the approach is, because Sp4ghet is going for the lineup and the scanning, whereas Kapten is still moving and looking for more information.
Yeah.
I must say Oman isn't the most information heavy country. You don't really get too much things that will tell you where you are in the country. So therefore I like Sp4ghet's approach more of just lining it up and trying to find an alignment on the road.
Opting to go towards the northern border. Sp4ghet a little bit further north than it was all the way down south. I think that's where Sp4ghet started, actually. Or at least hovered down initially. Still going to be a decent chunk of damage done towards Kapten, but could have been even bigger had he opted to stick around.
And once again, we are in Germany. We have Aachen, which is a city on the triangle between Belgium and Netherlands. Right there, Kapten has it, and from then on you use the other town names. We have even Luxembourg on the sign. Trier, Bitburg, Prüm,
A lot of
all
info.
findable. We apparently drive on the 51 and we are on the 421, so you try to find those two numbers, click in the middle of them, and 5K.
A rare moving around where you don't really have to move at all, because you have a plethora of info available right next to you. We'll see if it's going to be a 10K. Sp4ghet has, well, at least right now, 6 seconds to make that happen, but it doesn't seem like they're fully in agreement exactly where we are. It's going to be further north.
Ooh. Yeah.
A lot of roads in and around that area. Can't really fault them for not getting the 100% lineup.
True, true. We have the 14 here. Should be somewhere in Sao Paulo where you get the 1 digit. I mean, I've explained this earlier. If you know you have the 1 in front, then you know you're in Sao Paulo. And then you can learn the 2nd digit 1, the 4. That will tell you where in Sao Paulo we are. Don't really know where the 4s were though. We have Eastern Sao Paulo and Western Sao Paulo. Since Kapten had the area code, I would believe that we are in Western Sao Paulo. But Sp4ghet's still getting the right state here. He's actually on it. Yeah.
Great guess.
Very good
With
guess.
the multipliers, it's going to be big. Not quite enough to take down Kapten, but close there too.
That was scarier than I expected it to be.
Yeah,
Very, very.
That's Brazil. That's what it does to you.
Yeah. But now, as we know, Kapten is from Sweden.
Home
And
field advantage, potentially. We'll see if he gets
looks
any city indicators.
Mm-hmm.
Not just yet. Usually, Sweden is pretty generous with city indicators in every, like, even smaller intersection. But we'll see. There should be something right up here, you'd have to imagine. Like going one road further up, you'd think that there was something, but no, actually, Kapten is looking to go Finland now.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt you. I was waiting for you to finish to tell you it is actually Finland.
Good on you. Thanks for letting me fry for a little while longer.
I wasn't sure. I'm joking. I was not sure here. But hey, being from Sweden, you know you can rule out Sweden.
That's true.
You know.
Sp4ghet knows as well.
That's what I meant. What the advantage is as being a
yes.
Swede, and look at that.
Yes, yes, yes.
A lot of points, and now it's very, very close. Most likely, in the next round, we will have a deciding one, especially in Australia. We have a short reflector. Actually, is it a short reflector? I'm not sure. No, not really. Okay, therefore, it doesn't really rule out or in anything. Could be anywhere. But it looks like we have New South... Was it New South Wales guard endings? No, it was the black ones, right? Is it Victoria then? Not
It
sure.
was a yellow one on one side.
Well,
they didn't have the same shape as the other ones usually do.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me,
We
expert,
have
Martin's
information.
Creek?
Mm-hmm.
Is that big enough to maybe appear on the map?
I mean, with how mountainous it is, I would assume that we're more on the eastern side of Victoria, where you get more of this elevation. But yeah, right outside Melbourne, you also have pretty big mountains, so I don't hate Kapten's guess. If you go by
There.
chances, it's maybe more east, but I could see it both.
Both there and
It
both
was-
close, but that's round 10. And it's gonna be... Yeah, not gonna happen. Kapten losing that one, moving, gone all the way, and look at their health bar. They were both sat under 600. But Sp4ghet able to turn this one around and get himself a win on the board.
No move. We will have them both spawning in, looking
Ooh.
around.
Any rainbow blur meta available?
Not to my knowledge. It's probably just some stitching error on
Graphic
this road.
cards glitch meta, maybe?
I think there's like one very far western island in France where it happens a lot, if I remember correctly.
That is true. Jersey. I've seen that. Where it was all weirdly green. Is it Jersey? I think so.
I mean, that's not France.
Well, true. But I think I saw it there anyway.
It
Downtown
has some
Paris,
distinct
yes.
camera, that's for sure, yeah. I know what you mean. with the
Sometimes
camera.
downtown Paris just gives you rounds.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I saw it in Jersey. Nonetheless, let's get in.
Could happen.
to round
It can happen
number two.
anywhere, I think.
True.
It's very, like... It's common, but at the same time, it's only happening for, like, a short stretch on the road most of the times.
Yeah. True, true, true.
Let's
What do we have here?
We have Carga y descarga. Not much useful information. Giving you the loading zone information, but we are in Spain. We have some language. That helps.
Does indeed. Send a plonk in Madrid. Sp4ghet win Paris
Yep.
last round. Now it's
From
up to go
Paris
Madrid.
to Madrid.
It's not often that it
That's-
works out that way, that you can do that at this level of play, but sometimes either A, you don't get the info you need, or B, you could actually be on point by sending it to the capital.
It's a very weird architecture.
Oh! All the way north.
I couldn't place architecture anywhere, but I guess that makes sense, being all the way up there. Don't blame them, it was very hard. Now we are in Thailand, it seems like we are driving left. We have a concrete slabbed road, they are checking the copyright.
And we have text, but Sp4ghet hasn't seen it yet. Look right, my mans. There you go. But I think it might be too far away to really read anything. If they can even understand the language
Yeah,
that is.
I don't know if they read Thai, but nonetheless, it looks northern. Do like it. And yeah, look at that. Very, very close, Kapten. But Sp4ghet also in the north, and therefore not much happening here. Alright. Chugoku, I think. We are in Japan.
Yeah? Is this where Kapten goes quickly because he doesn't want to give Sp4ghet a chance to get any info? Or are we at a point now where home field advantage in Japan doesn't really matter?
No, it doesn't
Unless if
matter
you've driven
here.
down the road, of course. Then.
Yes. In a moving game, I would also consider sending it quick. But on a no move, I think, especially if you know one or two things about Japan, if you know your polls, I think it won't really matter too much.
Yeah.
But I thought this is Chugoku, where Kapten was initially, and he's back there. Okay, I think it is this region. He does stay there, whereas Sp4ghet doesn't agree. Ooh,
Let's see.
This could be scary. I'm not
Kapten is
very
locked
confident.
west of Okayama. Sp4ghet is all the way up towards Tokyo. Big distance. Multipliers ain't that stacked, but it's all the way further west than that. A rare miss on that one on the side of Sp4ghet, losing over 3,000 points in his home country. But then again, I mean, very tricky location, limited info to go by. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but to some extent, Japanese locations are a lot like Sweden, where foliage and whatnot can be very similar in multiple areas of the country.
Yep. And yeah, I do agree. By default, you probably go central north here, or a bit more northwest. I mean, I can't really work with anything here. One screen is already locked in, and one has half the map open.
There you go.
What? They got it.
Insane. Insane login by Sp4ghet. Barely even zoomed into Turkey either. But able to get the road down. Incredible guess by him, who, I mean, again, I feel like he's really grown through the latter portion of this tournament.
Definitely.
And I think had the tournament been maybe 28 weeks rather than 21, there's a good chance that he would have found himself way further towards the top on the overall leaderboard. But at least for now, can see himself satisfied with having made it to the APAC Major. And it's, I mean, I guess just down the street for him.
It is, pretty much.
Pretty big. Honestly, we haven't even taken that into consideration. Pretty big that the Japanese player, one of them, is able to qualify for the Japanese regional. Obviously, we have Sheena in already, but for Sp4ghet to now go out and contest that home field advantage, that's a big deal for him, I'd imagine.
Yep, I would imagine that as well. It's very nice to see. We are in Iceland here, I don't know.
More trees in this frame for Kapten than in the rest of Iceland combined.
Probably.
That's usually a pretty big tell. There's no trees anywhere, as the dude jumped quite a bit apart of this downtown Reykjavik. Guys, you've been so good at just hard locking your way into capitals. This time around you should have, but you didn't, and it's gonna be game for Kapten because of it. Now, into NMPC we go with the 1-1 score.
Yep, we are going over to NMPC. I think Kapten is still a bit frustrated about the
moving game.
Moving game, yes.
Of course, of course.
Because it was so close, and it came down to them both going outside Melbourne and losing on that.
And he's
due to the final round.
I mean, what could look to be the most difficult regional to get points in, because it's only going to be top 4, I believe, in the MEA regional that gets points. And you're up against Blinky, Kansas, Debra, Finbar. I mean, that's it's going to be insanely difficult, no doubt.
Europe is stacked for sure. Not going to be easy for anyone, really.
True.
And yeah, we are in India. These palm trees are more common along the east coast, I think. But on a very long stretch as well. And we have them both on the east coast. Love to see that. Besides that, I don't see anything else which you could take as a clue to region guess. We don't really see a pole, which is also usually helpful in India to have. But yeah, in this case, we only really get the palms to use and make a new region guess on. And with that, you try to go more towards the east coast. They both are. So let's see if it is indeed or not.
Oh, ooh, Sp4ghet hovering Sri Lanka didn't want to commit in the end. So they're going to be close to one another.
It could have been closer from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, true. Could have been all the way down there, but round one's not going to amount to too much damage. It's going to keep the race still very much open between these two. Into round 2 we go, and what are we seeing here?
Not much. It's
That
a
is
field,
true.
red soil, fences. Immediately makes you think of either Thailand or Brazil.
I knew you were going to say those two countries are close there too. And I'm like, yeah, immediately going to make me think of two countries on each their side of the planet, which has me excited.
Yep, but with how the road is... I
GeoGuessr?
mean, the road isn't really built, but with how wide and open it is, I'm thinking more of Brazil rather than Thailand.
I was going
So
to
I
ask,
feel
do
like-
you get fields this big in Thailand, or is the foliage more condensed?
Yep, it's... I would say the road would probably be a bit tighter in...
And one thing is the road size, but I'm just more thinking like
Thailand.
fully horizon length fields in Thailand. Is that common?
That can happen, yeah.
Okay.
That can definitely happen.
I haven't done my full scan
Very,
of Thailand
very
yet.
diverse in landscapes.
Let's see. Sp4ghet is south, Kapten is central Brazil, big distance in a big country, and it's all the way in
It was east of
Colombia.
Andes. I thought about it because of the fences, but... Do you... I mean, that's something you do consider, but... It's not easy to send there. I mean, in
That
a
is
solo
true.
game, you can try it. In a duels game, that's so risky to go there, even though it
Well, there's
does
your
make
Thailand
sense.
round. This time around, they seem more confident.
No, we are in Thailand again. Looks sudden. I can't say it for sure, though.
Let's see. Kapten, downtown Bangkok. When in doubt, go capital. We'll see. He almost did that in the Reykjavik round, and he won because of it. This one, though, it's going to be a bit further down towards the south. It's going to cost him 500 health and set him down by just a bit as we may go into round 4.
Interesting round. But again, another round where I don't really know what to use. Looks very, very generic. My vibe is... a round pole. I mean, it's a lamppost rather than a electricity pole, so I don't know if you can really use that to make a guess, but it looks like Brazil, based on the architecture, especially like in the distance, how the town is built. If you do count that as a pole,
Yeah.
which I think you can do. I think there are some wires going along it. And it's round. That's more of a sudden thing.
Sao Paulo plunk
Yep.
for Kapten. Sp4ghet has his marker in the same city as well, so would be minimal points between the two here should he opt to log in. He's hovering towards Rio as well, though, but no, I'm not going to change up his guess here. They're both going to be in the city proper, and they're both going to be equally 1,200 kilometers from the target.
It looks very weird. I mean, if you trust a pole, again, you go by chances.
Yeah,
and
of
Sao
course.
Paulo does make a lot of sense because you get a lot of round poles there. But going against it is a big risk, which I don't know if it's worth taking, especially if you know your opponent is probably also going to guess Sao Paulo.
Definitely. Kapten. He is looking very specifically here.
That
What
is
is
very
he
far
eyeing in
south.
the city?
I mean, it's very dry. I feel like it would be more lush green towards the north in Argentina.
Okay.
Could be a seasonal thing, though. If the season makes it look more dry. Yeah, that enough in the country. But I do agree we should be further south in the country. Now, how far south we are, though, I can't tell. Not very far south, but still a long stretch along the Patagonia region of Argentina.
Let's see.
Let's see
Neither of
where-
the players
yeah,
wanting to log in, letting the timer run all the way out as they are set with some distance in between them, and it's going to be even further towards the south. And with the multipliers starting to increase, things are getting a little scary here. Sp4ghet set at now just over 2,000 health.
Yeah, I don't even know if you really get more Gen 4 further south from where it was. So it was pretty much as south as it could have been. almost, I think. So that would have been, again, a big commitment. Could have won the game for someone, but yeah. It's, again, a thing you just don't want to take the risk for.
Yesterday I learned that A poles are in Argentina. Easy way to remember.
True.
I can't quite see if that's an A pole, though, in the distance there. Is it with the thingy across
I think
the
it's
middle?
just a leaner. I don't see a middle span.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a support,
nonetheless, they're
I
both
think.
in Argentina, so thank you guys for for vibing with me on this one.
Especially this basket on the side, this trash bin basket, the green one. That is very common in like Argentina. You see it also in Brazil, but this doesn't look like Brazil, so therefore you consider more Argentina. You also see it in Chile, but this doesn't look like Chile, so you're in Argentina.
Is this the third Argentina round in this NMPC? I think it might be. We've really been down here a lot, and great guesses on both their parts here. 100 kilometers off target, not an easy call to make. But Kapten able to maintain and extend his lead by a little bit. Wow, there's a theme going today.
Are in around 7 already. The Kapten is sitting on 4.9k on round 7 in MPZ. Even though we had a lot of big countries.
What sends them France?
The elevated road, the elevated side on the road is a very French thing.
Okay.
The pointed top on the pole is also a very French thing. And yeah, if you use both, again, you go by the chances. Region guessing that, I don't know.
It's
how region
worth
guessable
56
that
points is what it is. It's gonna be incredibly tricky.
Again, there was potential for a lot of points. We had a lot of potential. We had a potential in Argentina, we had it in Brazil, we had it in France. So from now on, you can no one blame than yourself, because there was a lot of room, there was opportunities to close out the game.
Chat, what are you thinking here? What are we thinking? Open fields once more in this NMPC that could just go all the way. Kapten hovering South Dakota. Sp4ghet is in Nebraska proper.
I like Nebraska.
Oh, both there.
Kansas, that area.
China, East Germany. Chat is all over the place today. Why did I even ask? Yeah. I like to get their guesses in. It's a good time. We'll see if they're going to be right. There's probably someone in chat that's going to 5k this. We'll see. Maybe that's the path. He bikes to school every day, or she. Are you a Nebraska native? Are you in agreement with Kapten and Sp4ghet here? Then you might be in for a good time. What are we thinking?
We'll find
what are
out.
we seeing?
Hey.
Border territory.
Nebraska, Kansas click would have made it here.
Their distance is still 1,000 damage is insane, and now Sp4ghet a tough challenge. There really is something going on with these routes today as we go into open fields once again. Is there a small world where this is Denmark? I'm thinking more Germany, but the houses on the left and is it windmills on the right?
Looks like it. I mean, really both can happen.
You would have had bullets
sides.
in Denmark, I think, in this. Even on a small road like this, you would have had bullets in Denmark.
It is also 23 copyright, right? So
that's your knowledge, not me and mine.
That leads your board towards Germany. Also, don't hate the Belgium guess. I don't hate it. The architecture looks a lot like there, but yeah.
As Denmark as can be without being Denmark, I suppose. We're gonna go all the way north, and Sp4ghet is gonna be beaten by Kapten. It was all the way up to Puttgarden, which is currently having a massive tunnel built from Denmark. So good on you, Puttgarden. Any representatives out there, let yourself be known in